Hello, dear astrology lovers, dear friends and clients. Here is Olga with the weekly horoscope with the analysis of the planetary transits for the third week of July, from Monday, July 17th until Sunday, July 23rd. The week will be very interesting because we'll live many interesting major aspects. There is also the conjunction of Mercury with the lunar node, and the week is extremely important because we are at this moment the last quarter of the lunar months. Okay, we will we will live the new moon in Leo the next Sunday, July 23rd. I would like you to remind. I would like to remind you that the like every month, what happens each month is that the period ranging from the full moon to the last quarter, so these 2 weeks between the full moon and the new moon, all processes are reaching their achievement. Of course, we know, all of us, we know that, right? Most of the work has been done, and we have given our best effort during, the full moon, when we had the maximum of energy and our actions were the most efficient. And here remains only, during this last quarter of the lunar months, to fully use the resources and that we have, the resources that we have at hand, and to complete the projects. It would not be reasonable to start, new big projects that we won't have time to finish before the new moon. We should now only initiate projects that can be completed before the next new moon. For example, something like, we can do something, that will take 1 or 2 days, or even 1 week, but the goal here is to be able to have enough of time to achieve this new project before the new moon of next Sunday, July 23rd. Otherwise, we'll have to wait until the beginning of the next lunar cycle to start the lengthier projects. Okay, so what's going on this week? We have 2 major aspects of Venus, also of Mars, aspects of Mars, Mercury, and Sun, and we have 2 ingressions, and we have the conjunction Mercury with the node and the new moon. And of course, a lot of different actual aspects of the moon that influence our emotional state. All right, what we should expect on Monday, July 17th. On Monday and Tuesday, Venus will form major aspects. On Monday, Venus in Gemini is in square to Neptune in Pisces, which is a tense aspect, and is the tense aspect of illusions. And on Tuesday, July 18th, Venus is in trine with the Jupiter in Libra, extremely positive, harmonious, and promising aspect. So once again, they don't cancel each other, they manifest the energies corresponding to the aspect. We have to consider these 2 types of energies like mixed, in one. Like I always compare with the coffee and milk. We mix something to taste, yeah, sweet and salty. A couple of words about the actual aspects of the moon on Monday before to talk about Venus. Moon will be in Aries in the morning, and that Aries now is in the end of Uranus is in the end of Aries, so the moon will create the conjunction with Uranus, and it's this is extremely it's an aspect that gives a lot of nervousness, and if this aspect is formed at the moment when in your region, your country, there is night, when you sleep, you may be victim of insomnia. It's possible for many of us actually in the country, the region where the aspect corresponds to the night time. And it may be, yeah, high nervousness, insomnia, especially if there is some discomfort in your state, discomfort related to some problems in your relationships or to some physical diseases or sickness, physical state, okay? It's in the morning. Then the moon, the same day on Monday, enters Taurus. And during this transit, it's good to take care of our appearance, to go for cosmetic procedures, for example, beauty care, to purchase clothes and accessories. This is on Monday. Now, what about this square Venus-Neptune? It's better to postpone major purchases and serious financial transactions and decisions, because during this aspect, square Venus-Neptune, we can misjudge the situation, both in business and in personal sphere. Nevertheless, thanks to the trine Venus-Jupiter, which is a very promising aspect, I mean, the aspect that enlarges possibilities and occasions and opportunities, aspect of luck, satisfaction and happiness. In closed and trusted relationship, there during this day, you know, on the Tuesday plus minus 2 days, these days can give a splash of vivid feelings, unusual feelings also, and something, you know, special ambiance in your intimacy with the partner. So take advantage of this trine Venus-Jupiter to just to enjoy your partnership relationship, even though you have to filter a little bit what the partner says because of the square with Neptune. Also, the opportunity to get what we dreamed of, you know, this the practical realization, embodiment of ideas also is possible on the trine Venus-Jupiter. The same day on Tuesday, Mars, we have to take into account the square Mars-Uranus. Mars in Cancer, you know, at the end of Cancer, because it will enter Leo very soon, is in square with Uranus in Aries 90 degrees. This is basically rather heavy and even dangerous aspect, especially considering that the position of Mars in Cancer is weak. I hope that you're familiar with this terminology, you know, the position of planets in signs that can be weak, strong, and neutral. Mars in Cancer is in falling. It's weak position because of course Mars in Capricorn in the opposite sign is a very strong position. What does it mean? Is that these Martian qualities of the planet, because the planet is the planet of action, are violated. These Martian qualities of the planet manifest themselves in the wrong way and are directed somewhere else. You imagine the Mars, which is a fire planet, the planet of action, energy, is in a sign of which belongs to the water element. So we cannot, those who have the Mars and Cancer in their birth chart are known for their inertia. They don't know how to express their intentions, how to act. They know what they want, but they don't know how to realize this, how to act. Yes, so that's why on the square Mars and Cancer, Uranus in Aries, we have to be aware of spontaneous outbursts of anger, because this energy of Mars is retained, you know, is kept by the water element of Cancer. We have to avoid conflicts where we are not sure about our victory, especially in situations potentially fraught with violence. So I would say dangerous aspect, yes. We risk to provoke conflicts and even physical confrontations, not only verbal, because otherwise it will be square Mercury, right? Uranus. We talk about Mars, so we can find ourselves in a situation where we are ourselves violent, or we are victims of violence from somebody else. Also, we have to try not to overwork and not to be overexcited unnecessarily, especially in the afternoon at the moment of the exact aspect, square Mars Uranus. Well, Mars is in Cancer, the family, the theme of subject of family is accentuated. It's better not to try to solve family problems now, of course, otherwise there will be consequences if there is a conflict in the confrontation. But as during any negative, any difficult transit aspect, we have the chance to use it, to apply it in a constructive way to our personal situation. If we find ourselves, in the connection, tie or relationship that is we are not interested in anymore, a relationship that is worn out, a tie that is, already not existing, almost not existing. It's a good period, this transit Mars square Uranus, when we can break this commitment or partnership, worn out partnership, relationship. It will be done done quickly and decisively. So if, for example, we've been feeling that something makes no sense anymore, we didn't dare to, to end it, you can do it during this transit. So that's why, imagine that the Tuesday Mars in square to Uranus, and at the same time Venus in trine to Jupiter. We have to keep in mind that we have to avoid, because of square Mars Uranus, we have to avoid sharpness in all the situations mentioned above, regarding financial transactions, important decisions and relationship with partners. Even we feel that everything goes smoothly, we have to be careful and not to avoid sharpness in what we say and what we do. What about the moon? The moon on Tuesday. Yes, is in Taurus, of course, because it entered Taurus on Monday in the morning. It will form two harmonious aspects: sextile with Neptune, trine with Pluto, and square with Mercury. Add to this trine of Venus with Jupiter. So basically the harmonious aspect dominate the tense, the difficult aspects. So it will be an extremely busy day. We will be able to finish a lot and to do a lot, even though it will be busy and a little bit, hectic. Now, thanks to this trine Jupiter Venus, some of us could find themselves in the situation when we may expect the reception of a big amount of money. This is the trine Jupiter, Venus Jupiter. Amount of money through a valuable gift or a winning. By the way, when I do the astrological predictions, detailed monthly astrological predictions, when I consider, and this I do it for myself also, when I consider the transit of all planets and fictitious points, all the planets, towards my natal Venus in my chart, and when I consider the major and minor aspects and also karmic aspects, these transits determine the financial situation. Money in, money out, I swear. It's insane. I know when I will receive money. If the transit Jupiter conjuncts my natal Venus, this is sure there will be some more money than I expected, or it may be also, since Venus symbolizes love, an invitation from a partner, for example, to a restaurant. It also has material value, right? So it may be a romantic attention from somebody, or a material attention from the person, or just more clients this day, for example. It works, but we have to check the transits of the planets that transit now and their aspect toward my natal Venus. If it's square opposition, of course you will spend more. If it's conjunction or trine or sextile, you will receive more. Money in, money out. This was a I got out from the subject, but this is extremely interesting observation. That's why if we have this aspect, trine Venus, Jupiter, and especially as a transit between the transit Venus and transit Jupiter, and especially if it touches one of your planets, if you have the planets, why not Venus in the same degree of the transit Venus or the transit Jupiter, you may expect some cash or a gift, okay, or you will win something. Now, let's continue. So I mentioned Venus. Yes, Wednesday, July 19th, Mercury in Leo will be in trine with Saturn in Sagittarius, extremely harmonious, positive aspect. It's a good day, the day of the aspect, plus minus 2 days, for quick action in the business sphere, when we need to consolidate the achieved and established contacts, Mercury contacts. Favorable period for studies and for interaction with the governmental bodies, of course. Even and the same day of the moon will form also the sextile with the Mars, moon in Gemini sextile with Mars, harmonious aspect. It will, on the background of this trine Mercury Saturn, the harmonious aspect of the moon will make this day extremely favorable for all sorts of communication, and it will be a good time for business correspondence, for business meetings, of course, in countries and regions where these aspects correspond to the daytime. If it's night at your place, you will sleep well. Okay? Thursday, July 20th. There are no major aspects of other planets than the moon, so we have only the actual aspects of the moon, and there will be a lot of them. First of all, in the morning, moon in square to Neptune. On this aspect, we have to avoid risk on the road while driving, but especially on water and with the water. We have to check the quality of our drinks, the quality of water, if it's proper, if it's clean. Also, during these aspects, square moon, Neptune, we can expect strong precipitations, storms and winds, strong winds. Then moon is in Gemini, is in trine with Jupiter, harmonious aspect, and conjunction with Venus, gorgeous. These two aspects are favorable both for the personal and for business relationship, for the exchanges, encounters, and meetings, datings. Later in the evening, opposition moon Saturn, but at the same time sextile with Mercury. Here, during these two aspects that occur almost at the same time, the main thing is not to violate the safety rules and to follow the instructions. We have to take care also of our health during these aspects, especially on the position moon Saturn, and especially people who have sick heart, and also the representatives of the signs of Aries, Leos, Scorpios, Capricorns, and Cancers. You have to pay more attention to their health, more than anybody else. Okay, now we have our ingressions. On Friday, July 21st, Mars enters Leo, and on Saturday, July 22nd, the Sun passes to Leo. Happy birthday, my dear Leos. I love you so much because myself, I'm Aquarius, and I have Moon and Mars in Leo, so and the highlighted synthetic signs, my highlighted synthetic signs are Aquarius and Leos, 50% each one. That's why I love Leos, and especially that Leos, my descendant is in Leo, so all Leos that I meet are in my 7th house. Project the Sun to my 7th house. Mars will be in Leo until September 5th, and the Sun will be in Leo until August 23rd. So such a planetary emphasis on the energy of Leo will strengthen in people the desire to be themselves, of course, and to express their individuality. In many of us, these two ingressions will wake up the desire to do what we want, what we have decided, and to be guided by our own interest, which is logical for Leo, for the sign of Leo, me. This is a big plus for creative self-expression, for activities related to the scene, concerts, theater, cinema, since this energy helps those who want to be in the center of attention. But in cases where it's necessary to act together in a partnership or in a group, conflicts may arise because of the reluctance of some of the partners to yield. Yeah. To accept that, yeah, maybe you're right and I'm wrong. And attempts to act in our own way can meet with the resistance of the other people. So it's worth paying attention to this factor that, not to be too selfish, too arrogant, especially that there is here another very important remark that I want to do. The last, starting from the end of the July, we are getting closer. We're entering the eclipse season. We will go through the lunar eclipse on August 7th, and we will leave the solar eclipse on August 21st. So any steps, any decisions, especially if, conflicts, if they arise, whether they're provoked by us or others, any errors that we make during the period of the eclipses, between the two eclipses, and even 2 weeks before the first one and 2 weeks after the second, okay, all this will have long-term problems with the consequences that will be difficult to change or to cancel, to modify. This is another subject, right? Eclipses. So we have to be careful about. We will be so motivated. We'll have such a big motivation, with this Mars and Sun and Leo to do what we want, not to consider the opinion and the feeling of others. So we have to be careful with what we do, especially as we're getting closer to the, as I said, season of eclipses. Also, the very moment of the ingression of the transition of the planet from one sign to another, it's always an important shift of energies, and we may be very sensitive and vulnerable at this moment because we will feel the change of the shift of energies. Before we were acting like Cancers because Mars was in Cancer. Now we will start suddenly acting like Leos. So water element, fire element. At the moment of the transition of Mars to Leo, an important matter can either be suddenly closed or stopped in a different way than we have imagined it in the past. Or it can be quickly and successfully completed, not obligatory and successfully, but something will be stopped suddenly or in the way that we didn't imagine in the past. It's quite a stressful moment because it's quite a stressful aspect, the ingression of Mars from one sign to another, from Cancer to Leo. So this day we have to be careful with fire, flammable substances, and also, of course, on the road and while driving. Friday 21st, the same day as the ingression of Mars in Leo, the Sun, which is behind the Mars, right, still in Cancer, will form a square with Uranus in Aries. The same aspect that Mars formed 2 days ago. During the square Sun, Uranus, there will be mood swings, irritability, especially in the context of a collision with unforeseen situations. The same as for square Mars-Uranus. Unreliable or outlived ties, relationships can be broken. Something that should not be broken will not be broken. If you survive this transit, it means that this relationship will go on a different, high level of mutual understanding and comprehension. If something should be broken, it will be broken. You will not be able to avoid it. Of course, such a transit as a square Mars-Uranus or Sun-Uranus, these are factors, that like a second hand, in a watch. Like what is what we missed in the last like 59, 60, yeah. The last factor that will provoke the event, activate the event. But if the event is not ready to pass to another phase or to be, the situation is not ready to be over, it will not be over, even if we go through this transit. So during the transit square Sun-Uranus, we have to avoid showing sharpness and tactlessness, especially at home with our members of our family. We have to carefully follow the safety rules when handling household appliances, okay, electricity, Uranus. The same day, the moon in Cancer will form sextile with Uranus. It's a harmonious aspect. It will soften a little bit the square Sun-Uranus, the background major and difficult aspect. So on sextile of the moon Uranus, we can get an unexpected proposal or come up with an excellent plan for our affairs. However, the risky situations should be avoided because of Uranus, okay? So what about our conjunction Mercury with the node? North node and Mercury will be in conjunction on July 21st in the 24th degree of Leo. This aspect can give us, especially to those who have, of course, which is logical, who have planets or the angles, ascendant, descendant, midheaven, MC, IC, the fourth house, in the 24th degree of Leo, especially those people, they can receive, and all of us also, important messages about our purpose in life. Of course, nobody will call us and will tell us, look, this is the way how you should live. Of course, we talk about it in figurative sense of words, receive a message. We have to pay attention this day to the hints, especially if, as I told you, you have the planets in the 24th degree of Leo, because this day you will have the opportunity to take advantage of the situation, well, to your advantage, and even the next week can change your life. You can, some karmic messages for you. Mercury communication, North Node, the direction of the present incarnation, the vector of your destiny of the current incarnation. Yes, interesting, right? Saturday, July 22nd, on the eve of the new moon, energy is very slow, very low. The moon will be in Cancer with a trine to Neptune in the morning, very good aspect for increased deep intuition. But then the moon is in square with Jupiter and opposition to the moon, to Pluto. It will be most probably very conflictual day, and since we are on the eve of the new moon, when the energies are extremely weak and slow and low, we should not forcefully carry out any action or to work too much, especially if it concerns the plans or affairs that can be postponed to another time, for later, because we will burn out ourselves. If we can postpone something, we will have to postpone it. Otherwise, we will feel just, underneath the zero. So this new moon on Sunday, July 23rd at 5:45 a.m., I give you the time, GMT -6, it's New York time, at the first degree of Leo, 0.44, less than 1 degree. Imagine that the Sun and Mars entered Leo just before, 2 days before. So the Moon, the Sun, and Mars are in conjunction. 3 planets, constellation. This marks, the conjunction of the new moon with the Mars marks very energetic beginning of the lunar months. It's extremely it's sparkling, it's difficult, it's a tense day. We have to avoid long trips in risky situations because we will be full of energy and we risk to act unreasonably. Conflict and traumatic background can be highly intensified. Many of us can have a feeling of extreme fatigue and drowsiness, actually, because if we do too much, if we work too much, we will feel that, yeah, I can do this and that because Mars and Sun and Moon are in Leo. But this is the new moon. Energy is zero, on the zero level. So we will feel extremely, very quickly tired, just, extreme fatigue. In any case, I always advise, even 2-3 days before the new moon, during the new moon and the first day of the new lunar month to avoid extreme physical exercises and sports, because you can do some harm, some damage to your body. So during the next lunar months, it's necessary to pay attention to these Martian themes and direct this turbulent energy into a constructive channel, because the next month will be dominated by the energies of the sign of Leo, of course. As we know, each new moon, with each new moon we live the situation or the energies of new beginnings, but this full moon will be special. It gives a charge of creative energy which correspond to the fiery sign of Leo. I remind you that the sun passes into the sign of Leo on July 22nd at 11:16 a.m. So the new moon occurs even less than in 24 hours. Then the Mars conjuncts the moon. So these aspects are the aspects of new events, plans, and actions, especially, of course, for Leos, Virgos, Cancers, and Gemini. The last thing that I want to tell you, extremely interesting additional information, is that the point of the new moon, that is the conjunction moon-sun, right, will form a karmic aspect of 40 degrees, which is called novile, with Venus in Gemini. It's a minor karmic aspect. When we consider the transits and when we consider the, the analysis of any birth chart and also transits, we consider most often major aspects, but there are minor aspects and karmic aspects. Like 40 degrees, it's the minor karmic aspect of novile. So Venus, the planet of love and beauty, in this karmic aspect of 40 degrees with the point of the new moon, gives us this hint, the chance, the opportunity, the possibility of starting a romantic relationship during the upcoming lunar months, but not an ordinary romantic relationship, since this is the karmic aspect. Of course, those who are looking for love and purpose, those who are ready to meet, to let the love enter their lives, they may see, that the fate, the destiny brings in their life a person, makes them meet a person who will remind these people, of somebody from the past, a new person, but, who looks like somebody that you met in the past. Or you may have the impression, these people, okay, you have to choose the pronoun, make the impression that you already knew each other in the past. So this means that if at this moment, we proceed with the synastry, the analysis of the compatibility, you may discover that with this person you have a karmic relationship from the past life. But the person herself will have this feeling of déjà vu at the moment when she will meet this new person, It will be a karmic relationship. And this transit aspect of novile of Venus in 40 degrees with the new moon will be this factor that will make this event happen. Well, of course, in order that it happens in your personal situation, you need to have additional indications in your personal astrological situations, in other astrological predictive techniques, okay? The transit is just the last layer that we add to other astrological predictive techniques. Now, for those who are in a relationship already, okay, they will not meet a new partner, but this lunar month will be a period of when, together with your partner, with your lover, you will come to another high level of mutual understanding and comprehension of your relationship and of its goals. This is it. I hope that it was interesting. That I hope that you will use this information in the most constructive way as possible. Thank you very much for your attention, for your time. Happy new moon. Yes, this month I will do the Lenormand. I will do the Lenormand card reading for the next lunar months in the end of this week, before the new moon of the 23rd. Yes, I promise. Take care of yourself, stay wise, and talk to you very soon the next week. Bye-bye.